would just like to share this little box with you. I found two on Pinterest. One had the band that I loved and one had the box that I loved. So I've taken the two and put them together to make the one. I just think it's just so lovely, using the thin cuts, alphabet thin cuts. And look, oh, it fits into one of our packets that you can buy. So that's our beautiful alphabet thin cuts. They stand about 1.5 inches high up when they're cut. And I just think they're wonderful. I'm going to use a letter S today. This one's for Chloe, and I'll make this one for Sarah, both my daughters. I've already made one for my mum, this one here. I taught this in a class up at Swansea on the weekend, and excuse me, they wanted to learn how to do the rolled roses. So these ones here are 2 inches, and this one's 2.5. And just at the moment, I didn't like the plain inside, so I've cut out 1/8 of an inch piece of silver glitter, and I've popped those in the middle with a bit of liquid glass on them so that they'll have sparkle and shine when it dries. I've also added a little bit of the shimmer brush, clear shimmer brush around the edges too. So that one's for my mum. That one's in Canary and Pacifica. But today we're going to be using White Daisy and Bashful. And we're using the new white ribbon out of the catalogue, which I've now run out of. Oh, very sad. And that is 9.5 metres, and that's $7.50. So that's what we're using today. So it looks like this. It's a woven ribbon. I quite like the look of this one. I really like the feel of it. And I've already tied the bow and the little bit. That measures about 9 3/4 inches long. We'll be using our oval thin cuts, the basic oval thin cuts, and we'll be using the 2.5 and 2 inch nesting to nest them together. We're going to be using this little stamp, which I love, and it's from the Rain or Shine paper doll, and it's just that one there. I just thought it was really sweet, and it was just perfect for what I needed, as just that little bit just on there. We're also using the clear and the pink shimmer brush, the Bashful shimmer brush and the clear one. We'll be using Sweet Leaf and Blossom ink. And what else are we doing? Oh, no, that's about it. Let's get on with it. So when I taught this in my class, I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but it actually went really well. Everyone was really happy with making this one. So your piece, excuse me, piece of white needs to measure 6 inches by 11 inches long. And we're going to score, oh dear, there it is. We're going to score on the long side at 2.5 and 4 inches. And we're going to do that on both ends. Then we're going to turn to the side and we're going to measure, score it. Now I've got my instructions, there they are there. Oh! I called this the Monogram box with White Daisy and Bashful silver foil. So on the 6 inch side we're going to score it at 1.5 and 4.5. I'll put that aside. Now our piece of Bashful, now it's your choice whether you have the light side or the dark side up. I think I might have, well, this side's the light side, so I don't know whether to go the dark side. Now I might go the dark side with this one. So this just needs to be scored at 1.5 inches. Just one score line. That will give us a nice neat edge to start when we go to place it around the box. That's all we do need to score. Now we're just going to burnish and fold all our score lines. I'll pop that aside for a minute. Oh dear, I've got ink on it. Dash it. Oh, well, it's on the inside. That's okay. I can live with that. Right, so now we're going to take our scissors, which I had 1 second ago. Now, these are not mine. I think they're my niece's. She was up on the weekend and we were crafting together, and I think she's picked up and taken my scissors home. I know these aren't mine because they're too new looking. Mine are nearly 5 years old. So we're just going to cut up all those pieces, and it's easier just to do it this way first, and then I'll show you a diagram of how you need to cut it in a minute. So now I've cut it like that. I'll bring in the diagram and show you. So it needs to be cut, excuse me, like this. You're going to leave these edges straight, and then you're going to notch in on these two, the little tags and the side panels. And you're going to do that on both sides. But the middle section has to have a straight edge. Right there. So I'll show you what to do. Once I've cut it, I'll lay it flat. Now I find the best way to do this to hold the middle one up so you're not tempted to cut it, and then just notch in here. Now the reason we're notching in on the box is it just makes it easy, the lid sections, it just makes it easier to close. I didn't show you how the box worked, did I? It's quite a nifty little close on this one. I'll show you in a minute. Around to the other side, fold that in, and now just notch those, all those pieces in. Oh dear, oh that went wonky. That's better. Right, I'll just get rid of all of this and then I'll lay it flat for you to have a look at. So that is what it needs to look like when you've cut it. So you've got your two straight edges through here, and then everything else is notched. Now the way the box, when it slides off, it opens like this. I just thought this was a wonderful little box. It gives it a nice sturdy top, and you just tuck one in, and then the other one just, hang on, I've got it jammed on a bit, tucks in inside, and then to hide those opening bits, I've just placed it so that when it's the, go back on, that just slides over and it just hides all that. And it has just a little gap there. I mean, if you wanted to, you can make that the whole length. I just wanted it so it had a little bit of peekaboo white on either side. So that's how that bit works. So all that we need to do to put the box together is just add adhesive to these sections. And make sure you get it on the folded edge of the tab. So they're just all done. Now we're going to take it, and with this section we're going to bring it around and line it up to there, and that's how you get your side pieces. So again, line it up, line it up, and our last one is here. Just line that up, and there's your box done. So you just take one piece, tuck those bits in. Takes a little bit of manoeuvring, but once you get it in, you're right. There we are, and that's our little box made. So now we're just going to make our little wraparound, which is here. So we take our box and we're going to lay it over and onto the side. So this piece goes onto the base of the box. Yeah, and then we're just going to pinch it all the way around. The reason that we did the score line is because it'll help keep this so that it doesn't shift too much, so that you end up with a nice even finish on it like that. Once you've done that, I want you to take that off, lay that so that the edges are straight, and then burnish the score lines, the folded lines that you've put into it. And then we're just going to add adhesive to just this end here, underneath. Now when I put this back on, I actually want the excuse me, the join to go at the top, So I'm going to place the box in, fold that around, and then bring this over and just match those up. What's going to happen is when I've cut, I've got that level. There we are. So that will still just slip on and off like so. And what happens is when I cut the oval out in the silver, that will actually cover that all together, so you won't see the join at all, and then you've got a clear whole box. This one I didn't do it, I left it there, and I wish I had turned it and put it up on the top, but that's okay. So now we'll put that aside for a minute. Now you'll need two pieces here. This measures 4 inches by 2 inches, and the same with this one, 4 by 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut the oval and your alphabet letter out of this one, and then we're going to cut our white oval, and then we're going to stamp our little sentiment here, and we're going to use Memento black ink for that one. So I'll just bring up the big shot and we'll cut all these out. I still haven't got rid of that horrible baseboard. I just can't seem to bring myself to do it. I know I need to. But while it's still working, I just think, you know, just go with it, Colsey. Just go with it. Right. So put those on. Put that on and just run it through. I'll move this out the way now. So there's our white piece and our S, and I'll put these away. So onto this bit here, I'm just going to stamp my, take a bit of foam, I'm just going to stamp these little flowers, and then we're going to colour these in after. When I put it on the box, I'm actually going to colour it in because I don't want to lose the, there we are. Excuse me. And you have to fussy cut out around that. But to save a bit of time, I've already done a set. So that's how that bit works. And then you'll just cut out around it and you'll have that little bit there. So move those out the way. Now we're going to take our box and we're going to take our piece of ribbon here. And I'm going to get my glue dots, which are right here. And one of the ladies, when we went to convention, she had taken, you buy these in a 3-pack, so there's 3 of them together, they're 3 by 3 inches, and they're in the back of the catalogue, and they're just called, do you know, I can't remember, just little craft boxes anyway, and she puts her glue dots into them, and I thought, what a great idea, and because we have 3 different size glue dots, I've now got a box for each one of them. That was $12 for the 3 of them, and I thought, good value for money. So this is the 3/8 of an inch glue dot. I'm going to put one into the middle of my ribbon. Okay. And then I'm going to take my box and I'm going to put that into the middle of the box. That'll just stop it from moving. And I'm going to bring it around and I'm going to have it so that it finishes off over here. So it's going to be covered up by the silver oval. Just pop that there. Place that on the top, and there we have our ribbon that'll fit and stay nicely around the middle of our box. Now we're going to take our silver, and I'm going to just add a little bit of 3 of these on, one in the middle, and I'm going to sit that directly over where that joins. And see how it hides everything? So that'll sit on like that. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put that onto some, I'll just cut some of these off. I didn't realise I'd run out the other day, so I need to buy some more. One on the top, one on the bottom. Place that into the middle, like so. Just going to add some adhesive just to the letter S. Sit that into the middle of there. Use another glue dot onto my bow that I tied. Place that just off to the side there. And now I'm just going to attach this. I'm going to use another little bit of foam. Put that onto the back. Attach that here. And now I'm just going to colour it in. Excuse me. So now I can just slide those back into there. Oh, and I don't have a mess. So now I'm just going to take the clear brush, smoosh the lid down, just because I want the ink on the lid. Pick up a little bit of the colour and just gently paint these. It doesn't have to be perfect. My poor old one, this is just about seen its days. I need to get a new one. So that's just painted those up. And then I'm going to completely cover these ones with this one. The whole lot. So that's just giving it that nice little sparkle. Then I'm going to take the lid, squash it again, open it up, and I'm going to just pick up just a little bit with this one, and I'm going to add it to here. Just so I can have a slightly bit of a darker colour there in the blossom ink. Oh, that was close, I nearly put it in. And that is how you make that little box. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial today. And like I said, there's 3 of them. Sarah, Chloe and Mum. So that's for Mother's Day, and these are, well, they are mothers, so I'll probably put something special in it for them for Mother's Day too. So till next time, keep on creating, and bye for now.